it's funny when I do it by myself because it's just me holding me accountable. But now there's
another person here. It's all right. Don't worry.
Hello, fellow fans, fellow coffee fans, fans of coffee everywhere. My name is Haley with Fellow Drops, here in our Pink Room studio in our Fellow store and playground in San Francisco, coming at you directly, not exactly live, but directly with Brian from Sightglass, who is wearing pink today because of the Pink Room. I mean, got
100% because of the Pink Room.
Love it. And we're here to talk to you about what we are dropping, which is Sightglass's washed Honduras Finca Baide. We're super excited. We're also really excited to feature Sightglass, who y'all were born and raised in San Francisco too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Not mistaken at all.
Awesome.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and like Brian, would you mind letting us in on where Sightglass came from? But how Sightglass came to be? Like, give us the 411. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, Haley. Hello, everybody in the fellow world. Brian from Sightglass Coffee. So Sightglass, we were born here in Soma on 7th and Folsom.
So just that way a little bit.
Just that way a little bit, down yonder. Back in 2009 is when we first opened up our doors.
Really?
Yep, yeah. So we've been around for quite a while now. Still feel very, very young in the world. And that was our first location, flagship, roastery, cafe, office. The idea behind that space was to kind of create a Willy Wonka factory, so that folks could come in and they could see everything, every part of the process.
Without a golden ticket.
Without a golden ticket.
Yes.
You did not need a golden ticket
Nice.
there.
Just making sure.
Yep, no. Low barrier of entry coming in. But yeah, the idea behind that store was to be able to create a beautiful space for people to learn about coffee and hopefully fall in love with it the way that we love it all.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And we have a few other locations here in San Francisco that have opened up over the years. We have one in the Mission over on 20th and Alabama, and then another one, Lower Haight, Nopa area on Divisadero and Page. And then we were fortunate enough to open up a similar roastery cafe down in Los Angeles.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I definitely, that's really cool that you guys got down there for sure. I frequent your 20th and Alabama location a lot. that's my
little secret. It's my favorite cafe.
It's beautiful. I mean, all your cafes are beautiful too. I mean, if y'all have the chance to get into a Sightglass, if you're local, a Sightglass location. If you're local to San Francisco or LA, or if you're traveling to there, definitely add it to your list to visit. Let's get into the mechanics of like why this coffee is, how do you say, cool AF. Just talk to us a little bit about like what, where it comes from and like just details, maybe even how you might suggest brewing it if possible. I mean, if you want to, not to put you on the spot, but.
I mean, I'm on the spot in this pink coat as it is, so.
You're in the spot in this pink coat.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm in the spot on the spot. No, I'd love to talk about this coffee. This coffee is actually a very special coffee to Sightglass. This was the first relationship in Honduras that the founders, brothers, Justin and Jared Morrison, created back in 2012.
Wow, so really early on.
Very, very early on.
Wow.
Yeah. So when Sightglass first started, we weren't purchasing coffees from Honduras. It took a couple years until we were able to make a relationship down there. There's a gentleman, Ben Hamim Paz, that's a very, very strong friend in Honduras that took us to a farm in close proximity to his family's mill. And that was where we met Jeovany Baide from Finca Baide. We came upon his farm, met him, incredible gentleman, super, super funny, super outgoing, and had a relatively small farm. It's about 14 hectares.
Okay.
Here in the States, that'd be like roughly 30-ish acres.
Oh wow, yeah, relatively small for sure.
Yeah, relatively small for sure. And what gravitated us towards him, other than who he was as an individual, was how lush his farm actually was. It's located on the side of this mountain that borders one of the lakes down there, and it was insanely tropical. The other bordering area of his farm is actually, it's not a national preserve, but it's a preserved forest. So it benefits him with not just the lushness, but like a lot of natural agriculture around. There's no deforestation that's able to happen in and around his farm.
Wow.
So it lends to like really great soil nutrients for the trees themselves.
Sure.
And it has allowed him to just kind of like thrive and create these coffees that we were just super drawn into.
Well, no, that's awesome, and we definitely loved it in the cup and brewing, and we, know how we brew it. But I'd love to know what your preferred like method of brewing. Like, do you like it on filter, and if so, how, what ratio would you use? Love to know.
Interestingly enough, we had someone recently use it as their single origin espresso.
Really?
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought to have done that, but they were telling me about the incredible pineapple acidities that they were getting out of it, as well as like really balanced sort of like caramely mouthfeel to it.
Sure.
I would absolutely suggest anyone that likes to tinker around with single origin espressos.
Tons of our fans do, for sure.
Yeah, like by all means, out of our huge lineup of single origins, it's proven to be one of the more vibrant ones.
I bet to get that pineapple, like the pineapple acidity and that pineapple like just kind of brightness, I bet it would be really great as like, even like a 1-to-1, like a super, super short shot, really high pressure, like getting all that out. I can imagine. I also can imagine it's pretty versatile. We noticed when we brewed it, we, hit our typical 22 grams in, 350 out at 205. So like basically a 16-to-1, but we also bumped it up to 24 grams in to 350 out. And it was just a slightly different, body and mouthfeel, but still, again, super versatile.
Yeah,
is what we were finding. Sweet. Well, thank you so much again, Brian, for being here today.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have anything that you would like to plug? Is there anything cool? Sightglass does cool stuff all the time, but is there anything like specifically time sensitive cool that's happening in the near future?
Well, no, thank you for asking. And there actually is. So we've been developing a pretty cool sort of summery drink. It's a carbonated cold coffee that we're only going to be having in our retail locations within the next couple months. So it's hopefully going to actually drop within the next 2 weeks, be down in Los Angeles, here in San Francisco for a really limited time. But it's a way for us to, again, kind of showcase more single origin side of things.
Sure.
And also show off what we're doing from like a cold coffee front.
Sure, and like innovation too. Again, another reason to add Sightglass to your visiting list if you're visiting LA or SF, or if you're local to SF or LA. I'm going to thank you one more time for being here and for wearing pink in the pink room. And thanks, fellow Drops fans, for watching. If you're looking for any brew guides, please see any of our other videos on our channel for techniques, how-tos, all that kind of stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. We love reading comments from you. And as always, remember, it's super easy to order from fellow Drops. Just text us back. We love when you text us back. If you don't, we won't charge you or send you coffee. Super easy. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.